Hello, hello. This is going to be the official Poxi Games 4 update explanation video. As for Poxi Games 3, it will be the same format because I don't have the time to make it a per minigame explanation, so I'm sorry for that. So it will mostly be a quick explanation for the game, which is the main part of the update, meaning that if you already know how a minigame works, you can skip the entire minigame part section and just see what's updated. And if you want the entire minigame explanation, if for example, if you're new, you can watch the complete explanation. So the first thing about this explanation is that I first have to explain a bit of history concerning why Poxi Games 4 is the way it is and why it's split up into updates. If you don't care about this, you can skip to the time on screen. Otherwise, well, you can say. So historically speaking, Poxi Games started with Poxi Games 1. Poxi Games 1 was based off OG Block Wars, like really old, and it was just an event. I'll make a video on the complete explanation at some point. So yes, Poxi Games does originate from Block Wars, but yeah, it's not really important. What is important though is that when it first started, I didn't know how to code for Minecraft whatsoever. So what I did was I would run commands such as for the scores, I would manually have to set the scores of each team. This wasn't an issue since we were only 4 players, but gradually Poxi Games grew, and then with Poxi Games 2, I started coding it as in a data pack format, which resulted in well, you know, Poxi Games 2 Season 2, and then all the Poxi Games 2. And after Poxi Games 2, we got Poxi Games 3, which was a great overhaul and pushed the limits of how good an event can be based on the coding language. The thing is, Poxi Games 3, as I said, pushed the limits and entered a problem. We can't do more with what we have. We kind of run into a limit and we just couldn't do anything about it, which again is a big problem. So for Poxi Games 3, which was coded in the data pack, we entered an issue because Poxi Games 3 was coded in the data pack. If you don't know how data pack works, basically for every line of a data pack, you can manually place a command block and put what that line is inside the command block. So basically, a data pack is just a bunch of command blocks stored inside the .mc function file. The thing is, we don't have access to variables, we don't have access to class, we don't have access to loops, we don't have access. So that really limits how well we can do. So for Poxi Games 4, we decided that instead of having to be limited, we might as well just make a recode all of it and end up with a new version entirely. Which is why we had a lot of problems concerning should we update the version to the newest version or should we stay at 1.21.1. We finally decided it was better if we just stay at 1.21.1 because it's a less laggy version. It's more reliable since we already played 9 seasons on it, and overall it's just more interesting. So what we did was we started to recode the entirety of Poxi Games 3 to Poxi Games 4, which is great. It went really well, but 2 months, 2 weeks, wait, no, I think it was, 2 months in, we realized we weren't, so this is in April, by the way, we realized it's not April, the month before May. I'm recording this really quickly. I'm sorry if it's not high quality, but I really want to focus on Poxi Games 4 and make the best season possible. So I'm trying to explain as much as possible in this short video so that I don't waste too much time on this. That's why the quality is probably going to be very low. So again, I'm sorry. For the next season or Poxi Games Part 2, Poxi Games 4 Part 2 explanation videos, we will have our own explanations videos for each minigame. So yes. So as a result of Poxi Games 4 taking so long to develop, we took a gamble. after, as I said, coding Don't Fall because it's a small mini game and it's quick to do, which I coded in 2 weeks by the way. We then coded Race, and that took also 2 weeks, meaning that we spent a month on just 2 games. If you can do basic math, you realize that quickly a month on 2 mini games means that it's going to take 4 months to develop Poxi games if we're not counting the inside of the event, such as the Decision Donuts bridge and the intro and all of the other things that come with that. So we decided that maybe it's not the best of ideas if we code the entire thing, and just decided to try and gamble it out. Basically, do all of the big games, and then we'll just figure it out. Sadly, I actually lost this gamble. So my plan was to code all of the high quality games first, and then depending on how much time I have left, I code the low quality games, or like not the ones that I'm updating. Or updating. No, sorry, not migrating, but not updating. Meaning that I'm switching from the data pack language to a plugin, which is a completely different set of language. It's just plugin is faster to develop and also better quality, but it still takes a lot of time. So you got to understand that right now there's the Poxi Games 4 games, and then there's the Poxi Games 3 games. What this Poxi Games 4 Season 1 means is that there's half of the games, which I'll be explaining, which got updated or migrated or overhauled, which were brought to this new version, Poxi Games 4, which has its own different quality standard entirely. And there's the games that didn't get transferred over, such as Hunt, Battle, Extraction, and I think that's it. And the Decision Donuts and a couple of other things, who aren't getting migrated and are staying as the same format as the data pack. What this means is that there's 2 different coding languages that are going to be running at the same time, and there's going to be a very big difference in quality-wise, and just how the minigame works, meaning that it could possibly lead to confusion on my part, since, it's 2 different coding languages. So, I'm sorry to have been wasting your time on this for 10 minutes, but what you have to expect is that code is split in 2 for now, and then in the full release of Poxi Games 4, which I haven't explained, but basically we decided to split so that we could have a season in June, since I can't host any season in July. We would split it into 2. I think that part was obvious, but still, and have our season now. So basically, everything I haven't had time to finish, which is the Cass's more air support type thing, the missiles, OC's items aren't fully finished yet, Bridge isn't fully finished yet, and then all of the migrated games. So you have to expect what we did for Poxi Games 4 again for the actual Poxi Games 4. We're splitting the update into 2 parts. One for Season 1 and then one for Season 2+. So that's what you really have to understand. That the games, as you know right now, will not be the same next season, and we will be updating them. So, now that we have the history out of the way, and that you understand this, you have to understand why I'm making this video, and not per minigame explanation video. And that reason is really simple. As I already explained, since it's going to get a second update for most of the games, there's no point in me actually... sorry for the Discord notifications. There's no point in me actually explaining the minigames in a separate explanation video, especially since I'm quite low on time. So with that, let's start instantly. The migrated games, aka the games that didn't really change that much, but got transferred over to a plugin language, or aka Java, are Race and Don't Fall. Race got a slight update on the scoreboard on the side, a bit of pointing tweaks around, but it's mostly the same. The map didn't change, still intersections, and generally it's the same. If you don't know what Race is, because I'm going to have to explain, Race is a minigame about speed, precision, and parkour. You have a map, you have 11 checkpoints, or 12 checkpoints technically if you count finishing one, and your objective is to do 5 laps in under 15 minutes. Only insanely skilled players manage to do that, so I wouldn't be surprised if you wouldn't, because you need to know the map. Race is the only minigame where you're allowed to request a training session beforehand. You're allowed to do one free trial of Race. If either me or one of the or the helpers are online, so you can ping them if you're ready. For those that already played on it, you're not allowed, obviously. If you haven't played Poxi games in more than 3 or 4 seasons, depending on how good you were, you're allowed to get one, even though you're not new. And that's about it. So that's what Race is mostly about. Race isn't the point. You get points per checkpoint you finish, and each checkpoint gives you certain items. And Race's main key thing you have to remember is you're not allowed to run on ice. It's you have to place your boat and ride your boat. Alright, so with Race out of the way, we now have Don't Fall. Don't Fall is an exact copy of what it used to be, except that now, instead of a system where if you get to the other side, you get 100 points, it's now a system of the faster you get over there, the more points you get. Whatever happens, you get 80 points, but then you can get an additional 40 points per every second you manage to get there. So imagine I take 20 seconds to get there, I'd get an extra 20 points. And same for every other way around. Apart from that, it's mostly the same. The maps did change, now it's more progressive, and also players do disappear in front of you, so there's no collisions and everything. But apart from that, it's mostly the same, and nothing really changed. Apart from these two updated minigames, migrated minigames, sorry. The rest actually have updates and have content changes, so this is probably the part where you want to listen or lock in. For those that don't know how Don't Fall works, I'm not going to go over it because your team captain can go over it. And every minigame I don't explain, it means that the minigame's small enough for your team captain to just be able to tell you what's happening and you should follow what he says. So, you should count on your team captain. Also, your team captain already played all of these games, all of the new upgraded games, or updated games. So if you have any questions, ask them. Or if you have any questions concerning the new update and before the season, which I know I'm not letting you a lot of time, you can directly ask me, since for up to now and the next season, apart from nighttime, I'll always be online coding and updating stuff and making sure that the season's perfect for you guys. Outside of the migrated games, we get the next updated minigame, updated minigame, which is Heist. Heist is now more less upgrade based and have a new feature called perks. I'm now gonna stop recording the lobby footage and actually show you what's going on. So Heist's main key point is that now you don't actually use you don't deposit by going inside the van anymore. There's this block you have to stand on. If you stand on it, it opens a UI. You have access to upgrades. You have access to your depositing item, and you also have access to perks. Upgrades, there will not be a quick explanation for this. You will have to endure the entire explanation because it's going to be too slow for me if I have to do separately. So basically, Heist is based around 3 main POIs or buildings versus your van, which is where you can bring back your items and you are safe. You can heal by going in there. Versus the warehouse, where you can get the upgrade blocks, and versus the bank. In the bank, you can find several types of valuables. The core ones being iron, the gold, and diamonds, which all have their own value and all have their own weight. Keep in mind, the weight has been tweaked. You do not take as much what's called nerfing. The higher you get weight, you can go, I think, 10 more weight, and the weight upgrade has been heavily buffed. Same for the def upgrade and some other ones. So how it works is that you go into the bank, you mine these valuables, which I just listed beforehand, and once you do that, you get value based on the block's value, and you get weight, which the heavier you are, the more you have negative effects, such as slowness, blindness, the loss of speed, and other things. So you can ask your team captain about your main strategies. Apart from that, there's netherite blocks that can spawn when breaking diamond blocks. They have a lower chance of spawning, obviously, so the more you mine diamond blocks, the more you can get netherite blocks. The spawning of netherite blocks has been severely nerfed. I think it's halved. And you will tell me, oh no, Matteo, it's Neverite blocks were so insanely rare. Oh, why would you do that? Trust me, when you'll be playing, you'll realize that Neverite blocks are absolutely everywhere, and they're actually contributing to your loss because they're taking up spots for the Lapis block. Lapis block, like Neverite blocks, can spawn as diamonds or as gold. They have a way higher chance of spawning than Neverite, and like Neverite, they can only give you value and no weight. Like Neverite, you cannot deposit it, but you can deposit the value that you get from mining it. It gives you 1 value and no weight, and Neverite, in case you don't know, gives you 3 value and no weight. Lapis blocks are really, really important because they let you get perks. Perks, unlike upgrades, get you a one-time upgrade, which you can only buy once, and which is thoroughly necessary. Now, instead of spawning with a diamond pickaxe, you now spawn with an iron pickaxe. You also have no haste and no efficiency, so mining blocks is really slow. As well as you have to buy the I think it's the pickaxe perk to be able to have a diamond pickaxe. Here is the tech tree for the perks. You first need to, for whatever item or perk you want to get, you will have to get the perk that's beforehand, meaning that, so as you can see on screen, you first have the pickaxe perk, which is tier 1. Then you have the golden apple perks, which gives you free golden apple, the haste perk, which gives you haste, so you can insta-mine upgrades and mine Neverite faster, and all of the other valuables. And then you have the speed perk. Speed perk basically grants you speed free if you're under 10 value, that 10 weight. So as long as you're not heavy, you can zoom past and actually outrun practically everything. So that's all tier 2. And then if you buy, for example, the haste perk, it allows you to get the upgrade perk and the droppable upgrade perk / lapis block perk. So you have to get the one that's you have to have a perk that's before the arrow to be able to get the second perk. So on the tier 3 list, we have the armor perk, we have the upgrade perk, and we have the droppable upgrade perk / droppable lapis perk. All tier 3. Armor gives you armor, obviously. Upgrade makes it so it resets your upgrade cost, upgrade blocks wise, to the old Poxi Games free price, which is really important because now it's overinflated. And for the droppable, I'm not going to explain. You can just drop as much as you want, so you can get more. You could give all of your lapis to one person, and they can buy all the upgrades. Sorry, not upgrades, perks. Perks do not give you points, unlike the upgrades when you buy them. And then we have tier 4, which is Swift Sneak, which is what the name tells you. Fortune, which basically has a chance of giving you a second valuable with no weight, but the same value attributes. If you're under 30 or 20 weight, I'm not sure. It's shown on screen. And then underneath you have the droppable Neverite perk, which is severely good, but it's tier 4, so be careful. Do not try to lock in just to get it, because you can only drop 2 Neverite blocks until you have to respawn before being able to drop again. What's really important is to remember that these cost progressively more and more, and lapis, despite being very easy to find and very common, still is kind of rare because you need it in very big quantities. So tier 1, so if you go into the van, you can see the prices for the amount of lapis and for the amount of upgrade blocks underneath. Upgrade blocks for perks have their own color. It's the blue ones. You cannot, as Johnny once tried, you could need only blue upgrade perks, and only those. You cannot use any. Anything else won't work. So in case you don't know how upgrade perks work, you have no, sorry, not upgrade perks. You have upgrades. Upgrades work as giving you, well, an upgrade in special domains. The price of Neverite wise has not been inflated, but the price upgrade blocks, which is how much time you have to spend inside the warehouse, is updated or like inflated. So you definitely want to get the upgrade perk. I think that's about it on heist. There is other stuff, but that's quite simple to understand on your own and not necessary of more attention in this video. One thing I will say though is that when you enter restricted area, that does not mean you're going to die instantly. What it means is that mobs can come actually physically kill you. If you're not in a restricted area, mobs will die when you enter it, so like on the boundary. So if you're not in a restricted area, you cannot die from mobs. That's all about it. Heist. With Heist out of the way, we now have the overhauled minigame, which is Pirates. Basically, an overhauled minigame. The difference between overhauled and updated is overhauled completely changes how the game works, while updated only adds a couple of features. So the overhauled aspect of Pirates is way too long for me to explain everything. So I'll stay on the basis, which will still take a big part of this, and I'll make a separate video maybe one time, I think, on the cast or closer support. So how Pirates work now is that you have a middle island, and in that middle island there is a monument. That monument is how you get gold. Keep in mind, gold is very valuable, so as you can see on, because this is not gameplay, the gold monument, you can enter it by, entering it physically. Once you enter, it will say you're entered. It is kind of glitched if you're too close to it, but that's not glitched, but it's not really happy if you stay too close. So if you want to be actually inside of it, actually enter it. Don't like stay here and then you'll miss out on it. If you get too close to the center, which is this beacon, you will not be able to place blocks because obviously this is a monument, respect the monument. This is where the players respawn, so obviously jumping from here to there is not a very smart idea because the water does kill you. Any water on any part of the map of Pirates will instantly kill you. This beacon, if it's turned on, means that every 15 seconds that you spend in this area here, you will get a gold ingot. Gold ingots are really important because you can make your way back to your ship. Right now the game's not online, so I cannot show you, but I'll show you using screenshots. If you make your way down, and this is really important that you remember this, if you make your way down here, you find the ship computer and the upgrade UI. It's really simple. Personal stuff is on the right, and the general stuff is on the left. By personal, I mean only for the player. While it is for your team, it is just a player upgrade and not in the general screen. So what you need to do is run into here. Actually, let me just start Pirates. Alright, so as you can see, I started Pirates. Pirates has now a sorting mechanic, meaning that you can sort your items. Keep in mind, you can offhand stuff, so you don't actually have to... Oh, okay, well, I think there was a bug. But, you can sort your inventory. You do have to sort it inside your physical inventory, and not just, in the UI. So you will get blocks and everything. I don't know what's bugged for me right now. Don't worry, I'll fix it. You have to make your way to the island, and on the island you can see that there's other ships. Now your main target is not actually getting... You can get spawns, they do get you a lot of points and gold, though killing is kind of more rewarding. You can still storm a ship, but yeah, it's kind of hard since we're 4 players. Though I would really recommend, because it's a lot of points for free. It's I think 120 points, and the kill is worth 20 points. So so as I showed with the UI, you see the ship computer. You have access to your cannons, which you can actually aim. I think you saw that in the trailer. You have access to your ship gold, which when you have gold in your inventory, you must click on deposit to deposit your gold, and then the amount of gold you have will be shown here. Then you have access to cast, which I highly do not recommend you to use. You will die unless you already experienced it. And moreover, buying missiles is stupid because the code does not work. You can technically target cast players. You do have access to the target, to the heat seeker, and you can actually lock your missile onto cast players. But the missile's tracking system is really, really cursed, and I should recode it. I just don't have the time, so that's going to be for the part 2. So I do not recommend. Cast players is basically a player that's airborne, that has an elytra, that has a crossbow, and fireworks, and that firework can 2-shot you. Now you might say, oh my god, that's so OP. It is, but as a cast player, you take a huge amount of skill to be able to do whatever you want, because turning kills you, going too slow kills you, going too fast kills you, going too low kills you, shooting too fast kills you, players can kill you using snowballs, and all of that just to fire some fireworks on players, as well as that if you use the wrong firework that can kill you. So overall, and also you don't have infinite flight time, so I would not recommend using it unless you watch the cast video, which does not exist right now. And out of all that, it costs a huge amount of gold to upgrade everything, so I would not recommend using this for whatever reason. You have access to sort items, which I should be doing, which lets you sort your items if in case of mess up. So if you do this, keep in mind, if you aren't actually sorting your inventory, this does not help you. I don't know why there's a bug, but this does not help you whatsoever. What you want to be doing is either resort your inventory and then confirm, or overall just, don't sort your inventory and then just, jump inside the water so it resets. If there's any bugs with the music or inventory, just reset. When buying an upgrade, you reset or die to, get your upgrades, otherwise it won't set it. Here you can see the upgrades. You can upgrade basically everything. You have the amount of gold on the right, and once you buy it, it tells you what you can buy. So for example, this gives me a stone sword. For now, for the first level, these two don't actually give you anything, but then you can later get prot 1, and then, so I'll let you experiment with that. And finally, we have spawns. As of right now, all of the spawns are working, but if they weren't working, it would show, and then I could just fix it using 10 gold. Killing players gives you 5 nuggets. If they have any gold in them, that also drops, and if they don't, they won't drop. Breaking a spawn gives you, I think, 5 golden ingots, which is absurd. It's half of the price to fix your own one, and overall, it also gives you a bunch of points. Remember, you do have to bring back the gold to deposit it. When killing a player, it automatically deposits for you 2 gold and doesn't give it in your inventory, as well as 2 gold bars if you break a spawn. So if you actually make it out alive of a ship while breaking the spawn, your team gets a total of 7 golden ingots for free. I will not be bridging the gap because this takes too long, but now spawning is not the same way as it used to. Breaking spawns is not at all the same way as it used to. I hope you're watching this in 2x speed, by the way, because I am slow, but this is a long video, and I'm really sorry. I should have made this beforehand, but I really want to work on the quality. So spawns are here, and then above. There's only 3 spawns, and they work in a different way as before. So it's really important that you know how they work. What you do is you walk on it, and then it will spawn this UI. This is the power supply of the spawn. Taking all the redstone will then allow you to. I'm stuck at this. Allow you to break the spawn. You actually get, okay, you get 3 gold. I'll maybe buff it. I'll buff it at 4 gold probably. And then this spawn now does not work. As you saw before, you can fix a spawn. What's really important now is that spawns don't work as they used to. It's not because you have like 7 spawns. It's the more you have spawns, the better it is for you, because when a player wants to spawn, imagine this spawner works and this one doesn't. This one will then spawn the player that wants to spawn that's inside the cage, or like whatever it is at center. Then the player spawns, can do whatever he wants to do, and this spawn goes on cooldown for 15 seconds because it takes 5 seconds to spawn a player. And so if anyone dies when this spawn is on cooldown and the 2 other spawns don't work, this spawner cannot spawn anyone for 15 seconds. So basically, the more spawn you have, and the more players you can spawn at the same time. Alright, I think that makes sense. So yeah, overall, that's what Pirates is about. That's how it works. Oh, and it also gives you not that many points. I'll fix it so it's 100 points. Since I have gold, I'll go over back to Red Ship. You can also have access to cannons, which is really interesting. Also, I do not. I'm playing with shaders right now because I can. I do not think it's a good idea to play with shaders in actual Poxi games, so you can try, but I wouldn't. If you go over to your ship computer, you can deposit. Oh, I'll see. You actually get a lot of gold. I won't buff it. You can have access to a cannon. You can buy cannonballs. When you buy the cannonballs, you can then access the cannons. You have the spyglass to aim because the zoom mod is not exactly allowed. It's tolerated if you're making content, but maybe don't use it. And then you can aim at legit anything you want. Keep in mind the cannons do turn, so you have to wait for the cannons to turn, which is indicated by these things here. Then once you're ready to fire, you can just, you know, fire, which will spawn smoke and everything. If you fire in the water, there will be the holy loudness. There will be the water particles, and then once you're finished firing, you can just right-click that. That's how pirates work. I'm not going to go more over it. If you have any questions, ask your team captain or just ask me directly. And then the final minigame is Overcook, which I will, which replaces Spleef. Overcook is a really team-based minigame. It's one of the 2 planned team minigames for Poxi games. As of right now, it's the only one, of course. What I mean by team minigame is not you need a really strong team to win. It's quite not that actually, which that's not English, my bad. It's actually the more points you get for your team. Sorry, the team amount of points you get. Oh, wait, I'm stupid. Sorry, the amount of points you get for your team. So the amount of points that is here when you're playing is actually what your indiv is going to be. So whatever amount of points is here is the amount of points every player is going to get. So you have to do ×4 since there's 4 players. So keep in mind, if you have 1,000 points, that means that every player in your team is going to get 1,000 points, which is absurd. Other than that, OC is really team-based because if you don't have a coordinated team, you're kind of screwed. I'm not gonna lie. So how OC works is that you have this area, which is your kitchen. As of the time I'm recording this, you can actually... My bunny's making noise. You can enter, but in actual Poxi games, if it works, don't do it. And normally it won't work, but if it does work, please do not do it. Nice! So you have the menus, you have 3 orders that are possible. Keep in mind that everything on the order needs to be in your barrel. Oh, by the way, your inventory is filled. You can only use your hotbar. Keep in mind that this is everything you must get. The updates, the orders, each item has a different amount of points it gives. Most of them are like set to default by 1, so like bread, baked potatoes, and everything. But some items like golden apples, which are really hard to get, are set to 6. You cannot get more than 5 golden apples in the same order, which I haven't added yet, but it's like 4 lines of code, so you know, I'll add it. Really important, you need the exact amount and in the exact same order in your barrel. So you start from top to bottom. So right now it would have to be 10 golden apples here, 20 bread here, 1 baked potato here, and 20 salmon here. On the side we have your team chest because dropping items doesn't work, so you can't give your items to other people. You can only switch by giving them to the large chest. So keeping a chest organized from what has to be cooked, what is ready for orders, and what is raw stuff is really important, which is why coordination in this game is so important. Other than that, you have your crafting table, and here you have your overcooked upgrades. These 2 might not work for this season, and I'm really sorry if I don't have time to do it. I'll tell you beforehand. And about beforehand, if you're team captain, join 20 minutes beforehand. I will need you in Gen 1 so that I can explain everything that is getting added or like changed between this explanation video. This is actually falsified. This blast furnace is going to be here, so you know. What you can do is when you kill a Ravager, which spawns when it's nighttime, you'll understand soon. You can go to the upgrade area and then upgrade the furnaces so that you get more furnaces. This one might be bugged, so maybe don't buy it unless you really have all of the upgrades. Upgrades don't stack, so don't expect it to stack. There are 3 areas in this map. There's the village, there's the kitchens, and there's the farm area. You can enter the farm area by just walking into it. The farm area has different districts or whatever where you can get items. You can find sugarcane. You can find kelp, which by the way, kelp can only be mined from top down. So if you try... Oh wait, that works. Oh wow, I didn't know that worked. Alright, well I learned something. Oh, it's nighttime. Oh, yeah, nighttime spawns Ravagers. My screen is super bright, which is how you get drops. I will skip this. No, this is... It's too bright for me. So yeah, Ravagers have the same amount of health as you do. So for 4 shot. So yeah, keep that in mind. You have, I'm gonna go in creative mode because it's faster. You have cocoa beans here, you have kelp in here, you have salmon and cod there. In the mines, you have access to gold and coal. You have access to pumpkins and melons. Leaves let you get apples. Here you get those by standing on them. So, as you can see, you have wheat, potatoes, and you have a barn. The barn spawns, well, animals. Keep in mind, and then you have a chicken area. If you want to get eggs, you can get them by going here. There's a bug here. If you jump at this floor, you will just take damage, as you can see by return to the map, which is a very bad sign. You can find the eggs in this barrel. If you go too high up, y-axis wise, you will take damage. So make sure you're always in the valley and not outside on the walls. For any spawner that spawns mobs, which you will clearly see because there's mob spawning there, the more players are around that, the more it spawns. So if you have a heavy order meat-wise, get like a friend, because the amount of mobs that spawn is not doubled but squared. So if there's 3 people, it's actually times 9 and not times 3. So it's a really quick way of getting a lot of items. Once you do have your items, you can make your way over to the kitchen area, and then you can cook and everything. For sake of this thing, I'll cheat and get the items in creative mode. Cook pork chop, and then 16. Oh, that worked. Oh, well, I guess I just wait. Normally it's supposed to be in this exact same order. Well, when you have your upgrade, you can, when you finish your order, it spawns an exclamation mark on it. What happens, it doesn't already work right now because I still have to encode it, but it will work. You have to stand on it. It clears your inventory, so keep in mind if you have any stuff, put it in the chest first. This order, so order number 2, oh, and it's nighttime. Let me skip this. Keep in mind, this isn't fully coded yet, so the map doesn't actually spawn. That's normal. To activate the map, you need to go at this well or information point, which is there, which I'll show in a second. The map updates your player location, which is you here, and then where you have to go there. So you as a deliverer can't actually see this map because it won't spawn. You'll have to be there for it. Oh, and you can break flowers. Oh, because I have... Okay, I know why. If I said I can break stuff like kelp before, it's because of something with the code, because I'm a mod right now. But normally you as a player, you can't break stuff. So kelp, you can only break it top to bottom. Keep that in mind. So yeah, now I have to make my way to that house, which is here. Path blocks give you speed too, so don't jump when you're on a path block. You make your way to a house. It's indicated by... this. It's color based, so if you're in green team, it's going to be green. You walk in front of it, it deposits your order, you get the points, and then it adds it on the side, and then that's about it. And then the game ends. So that's all of the games for Box Games 4. We did update Bridge. It has a new map, which I won't show, but it's in the trailer, so it doesn't really matter. Bridge is updated, as in it now has a bridge section. It's longer. You have a slower respawn time, which is at 5 seconds instead of 3 seconds. And at the very beginning, which is really important that you don't mess up this, because if you mess it up, you cannot ever fix it. When bridge starts, there is a cooldown, but like it instantly gives you your item sorting order. So if you quit your menu at the same time when it starts, you lose access to sorting your inventory, which right now has no default. I probably try to get a default if I have the time to do so. But if there isn't a default, you just spawn with no items, and you will make your team lose, and that's on you because you have to pay attention. It's the most important thing. So keep that in mind, and then you can sort your inventory with your items, and then you can play, and it's all good. So it's more or less the same thing. So for a final explanation, there are 2 code bases. It's not going to be exactly the same as before. So there's going to be the old stuff, and the new stuff, a mix of the two. There's going to be old commands and new commands, such as slash trigger request help will not be slash trigger request help anymore, or slash trigger ready won't be slash trigger ready. It's going to be slash ready for team captains. But at the start of the event, it's still going to be slash trigger ready because I'm keeping the Poxi 3 intro. I'll update it for Poxi 4. So keep that in mind when playing. You have access to slash request help, slash request pause if you're a team captain, and slash report if you want to do one of those. In the case where you actually do want to do one of them, most of them just warn me that you're having a problem, or Lolo, since he's playing, or like any dev. But any mod, sorry, which is only Lolo. But if you have, if you do slash request pause, which is very, I do not recommend you doing that unless it's really important because it actually pauses the event. That's what it does. Apart from those, I'm gonna give you some predictions, I guess, so that you can, thanks for watching an entire, I think, 40-minute video. It's gonna be really badly edited, I'm sorry. But basically, yeah, it's going to be mostly, I think it's going to be a smooth season overall. It probably is going to have quite a bit of bugs because of the parity between a data pack and, plugin. But it probably will be a smooth season. Decision Donut is still the old Decision Donut, and same for most of the minigames. I'm expecting quite a lot of low quality bugs, like, for example, in Heist, before I fixed it, you couldn't punch using the knockback stick. I'm expecting quite a lot of those kind of bugs because parity, and I'm not going to be able to test it like a lot, only a couple times. So yeah, I still hope the season's going to be good because obviously I spent a lot of time and effort on it. So yeah, I hope you your best season, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.